The NFL celebrates toughness, loyalty, and teamwork, but some players couldn't keep that same commitment off the field.
Earl Thomas is facing charges this afternoon following an incident in Texas last month.
From Earl Thomas, caught in a wild, multi-person scandal that destroyed his marriage.
TMZ is reporting the wife of Ravens safety Earl Thomas held a gun to his head after learning of an alleged affair.
To Tiki Barber, whose affair with a young intern tore apart his family and public image.
In the middle of her pregnancy, it's revealed that he's been sleeping with the intern.
These are the NFL players who cheated on their partners. Earl Thomas wasn't just another NFL safety, he was one of the best of his generation, a 7-time Pro Bowler, a Super Bowl champion, and the heart of the Seahawks' legendary Legion of Boom. For nearly a decade, he was known for precision, discipline, and unmatched talent. But after football, everything that made him look unstoppable on the field fell apart in his personal life. On April 13, 2020, Earl's marriage spiraled into one of the most shocking scandals ever involving an NFL star. Earlier that night, he and his wife Nina argued about his drinking. Earl left with his brother Seth. Nina got suspicious, logged into Earl's Snapchat, and used the location feature to track him. What she saw confirmed her worst fear. Earl was at an Airbnb with another woman. Nina grabbed Earl's 9mm pistol, her sister, and a friend, and drove straight to the house. They entered through the back door and went upstairs. That's where Nina found Earl and Seth naked in bed with other women, and that moment turned into chaos. Nina admitted she pointed the gun at Earl's head, believing it was unloaded after removing the magazine. But police later said there was still a round in the chamber. The safety was off, and her finger was on the trigger. Witnesses said she shouted at the women, swung at Earl, and threatened everyone in the room. Earl wrestled the gun out of her hands. When officers arrived at 3:41 a.m., they found Earl holding the gun and Nina chasing him with a knife. Police body cam footage and cell phone videos backed up every detail. Nina was arrested and charged with felony burglary of a residence with intent to commit aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Earl was not arrested, but the incident destroyed his reputation instantly. In the months that followed, Nina filed for divorce, citing adultery. She was granted a restraining order, and their marriage collapsed publicly. Earl tried addressing the situation on Instagram, calling it nobody's business, but the damage was already done. Then things got worse. In 2022, Earl was arrested after violating a protective order by reportedly sending threatening messages to a woman. That same year, his home burned down in a massive fire caused by a lightning strike. Everyone survived, but the house was a total loss. Moving on, we have a player who had an affair with an intern he was working with. Tiki Barber. Tiki Barber wasn't just a star running back, he was the face of the New York Giants for a decade, a 3-time Pro Bowler, the franchise's all-time rushing leader, and one of the most respected players of his era. After retiring, he transitioned smoothly into national media, joining NBC, and becoming a familiar personality on The Today Show. To fans, he was a polished, reliable, family-oriented professional, but behind that image, his personal life was heading toward one of the most controversial cheating scandals in NFL history. Tiki married his college sweetheart, Ginny Cha, in 1999. They built a life together in New York and had 4 children, including twin daughters born in 2010. But in April of that same year, while Ginny was 7 months pregnant, it was revealed that the couple was separating. Shortly after, the truth surfaced. Tiki had been having an affair with Tracy Lynn Johnson, a 23-year-old NBC intern he met while working on The Today Show. Johnson had even babysat his children. Sources later claimed the two had traveled together on work trips while Ginny was still pregnant. The situation escalated publicly when Tiki admitted in a Sports Illustrated interview that he had been hiding in his agent's attic with Johnson to avoid being caught. The comment drew heavy criticism, especially compared to how openly he had condemned his own father years earlier for abandoning their family. The fallout was immediate. NBC chose not to renew his contract. Headlines portrayed the affair as a complete betrayal, not just of his wife, but of the persona he sold to fans for years. Friends of the family described the situation as shocking and out of character, calling it the last thing they ever expected from him. Just 8 days after his divorce was finalized in July 2012, Tiki and Johnson were married in a civil ceremony in New York. They went on to have 2 daughters together. While the couple eventually rebuilt their life and continued publicly as a united pair, the scandal permanently changed how fans viewed him. Up next, we have a player whose wife exposed him for cheating. Ryan Shazier. Ryan Shazier wasn't just another linebacker, he was the future of the Pittsburgh Steelers' defense. A first-round pick in 2014, a Pro Bowler in 2016, and one of the fastest, smartest players on the field. By 2017, he was the heart of the Steelers' defense, a rising star with a career headed toward greatness. But on December 4th, 2017, everything changed in one moment. During a Monday Night Football game against the Cincinnati Bengals, Shazier lowered his head to tackle wide receiver Josh Malone. As soon as he hit the ground, he reached for his back and stopped moving from the waist down. The stadium went silent. He was taken off the field and rushed into emergency care. 2 days later, he underwent spinal stabilization surgery, a procedure doctors warned could leave him permanently paralyzed. The next years were a battle for his life. Shazier had to relearn how to walk, how to stand, and how to move without pain, but he refused to quit. 11 months after surgery, he jogged again, and in 2019, at his wedding to Michelle Rodriguez, he danced. It became one of the most inspiring comeback stories in modern sports. But behind the motivation and resilience, Shazier's personal life was falling apart. In November 2023, Michelle publicly accused him of cheating. She posted screenshots of alleged text messages between Shazier and another woman named Marie. The messages included flirting, late-night conversations, and even links to romance instruction books he allegedly sent her. In her caption, Michelle wrote that she had supported him since the day of his injury and now felt betrayed. "This is Ryan. He's a liar and a cheater," she wrote. The post went viral before she deleted it. Shazier responded by telling TMZ that he and Michelle had been living apart and are currently separated, and asked for privacy. But the damage was already done. 2 months later, in January 2024, he officially filed for divorce. The case was sealed by the court, and no further details were released. The two had been married since 2019 and shared a son together. Next up, we have a player who was caught cheating on his partner with multiple women. Chad Johnson. Chad Johnson wasn't just another wide receiver, he was a spectacle. Known as Ocho Cinco, a 6-time Pro Bowler and record holder for the Cincinnati Bengals, Chad turned football into theater. He danced after touchdowns, raced horses for charity, and even lived in his stadium to save money. On the field, he was unstoppable. Off it, everything else fell apart. In July 2012, just 41 days into his marriage to Evelyn Lozada, chaos erupted. Evelyn found a receipt for a box of condoms in Chad's car. An argument turned physical. According to police reports, Chad headbutted Evelyn in their driveway. She ran to a neighbor's house and called the police. He was arrested, charged with domestic battery, and ordered to have no contact with her. Their marriage ended almost before it began. Years later, Chad's personal life continued to spiral. In late 2024, his engagement to selling Tampa star Sherelle Rosado collapsed amid allegations of infidelity. Sherelle publicly revealed she had gone through Chad's phone and found women everywhere. Text messages, late-night conversations, flirting, all pointing to cheating during their engagement. She described being fed up with Chad's fame, his constant attention from women, and the public disrespect she endured. Chad stayed mostly silent, joking about saving on car insurance when asked for comment, while Sherelle confirmed the split. Chad and Sherelle had a daughter, Serenity, born in January 2022. The two had dated since November 2020 and were engaged in January 2023. He is also father to 7 other children, and Sherelle has 3. Despite the breakup, she emphasized that they remained a family, co-parenting as best they could. On the other hand, we have a player caught in a messy love triangle full of cheating and drama. Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson wasn't just another quarterback. He was the Jets' golden boy, a BYU standout, 2nd overall pick in 2021, and a kid everyone expected to carry the franchise into a new era. But for Wilson, life off the field was about to become far messier than anything on it. In 2022, his ex-girlfriend Abby Guile dropped a bombshell on social media. Wilson had allegedly cheated on her with his mom's best friend. The post exploded. Screenshots, memes, and endless speculation flooded the internet. Wilson stayed mostly silent, posting only, "What I miss." Things got even weirder when Abby reportedly began dating his former teammate and roommate, Dax Milne. Friends became rivals, gossip became global. So, Wilson's mother, Lisa, found herself at the center of the chaos. She posted videos pleading for people to stop harassing her friends and railing against social media predators. Her nearly 30-minute-long confession was a mix of despair and defiance, parenting failures, betrayal, and the dark side of internet fame. On the field, Wilson struggled too. One game against the Dolphins, he was sacked 4 times, replaced mid-half, and taken off with a head injury. The Jets were humiliated 30-0. Fumbles, pressure, and zero rhythm made him look lost. Even after his best pro performance against Houston, the memory of failures lingered. In 2024, the Jets finally gave him permission to seek a trade. He moved to the Broncos, then the Dolphins. Meanwhile, he tried to rebuild his personal life, getting engaged to Nicolette Delano in 2024 and marrying her in 2025. Moving on, we have a player whose fiancée caught him cheating. Delaney Walker. Delaney Walker wasn't just a tight end. He was a workhorse in the NFL. 14 seasons, 2 teams, 3 Pro Bowls with the Titans, and a reputation as a versatile, reliable weapon on the field. But outside football, life threw tragedies and scandals at him he never could have predicted. In 2013, hours after playing in Super Bowl XXL, Walker's world shattered. His aunt and uncle, Alice and Brian Young, were murdered by a drunk driver while their car sat on the shoulder of Interstate 10 in Louisiana. The crash was brutal. A Mercedes slammed into their Altima at high speed. Both cars erupted into flames, and their bodies weren't found until the fire was out. Walker had hugged them just hours earlier at a team party. He didn't believe the news until his mother confirmed the police badge found in the wreckage belonged to his uncle. The tragedy hit him hard. Walker, once casual about drinking and driving, became a fierce advocate against it. He teamed up with Mothers Against Drunk Driving, spoke at schools and events, and pushed for laws requiring ignition interlock devices for first-time offenders. People will drive 100 times drunk before they get caught, he said. It's sad how you don't realize the danger until it hits close to home. Walker's personal life also made headlines for the wrong reasons. In 2015, his fiancée, Racine Lewin, hacked his Instagram, accusing him of cheating while she was 4 months pregnant. She posted a detailed rant about his infidelities, his excuses, and the way he prioritized his image over their family. The engagement ended, but they continued co-parenting their daughter. Even with tragedy and scandal swirling around him, Walker kept performing on the field. After 7 seasons with the 49ers, he joined the Titans, signing a 4-year, $17.5 million contract. He became a cornerstone of their offense, blocking, receiving, and mentoring younger players. Coaches praised his versatility, calling him a Swiss Army knife who could do it all. But injuries and personal struggles kept him from being invincible. An ankle injury cost him 25 games over 2 seasons, and he eventually retired. Off the field, Walker found a new role as a media personality, co-hosting the weekly football gambling show, The Locker Room, staying connected to the game even as his playing days ended. Next up, we have a player who was caught cheating on his wife in a parking lot. Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield didn't just throw passes, he broke records. First overall pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, a rookie touchdown record, ended the Browns' 19-game winless streak, and eventually led Cleveland to their first playoff victory in over 25 years. But off the field, Mayfield's life has been just as turbulent as his NFL career. In February 2017, Mayfield was arrested in Arkansas. The police report painted a chaotic scene: slurred speech, food on his shirt, stumbling downstairs, yelling profanities, and sprinting from officers. He was booked on public intoxication, disorderly conduct, and resisting arrest. The University of Oklahoma later required 35 hours of community service and an alcohol education program, a small slap on the wrist for what would become a pattern of off-field drama. In July 2019, Mayfield married Emily Wilkinson, a California native who had transitioned from plastic surgery coordinator to special correspondent and quickly became the public face of the power couple. But just a month after their wedding, allegations surfaced. Casey Dingus, a 20-year-old Ohio woman, claimed she met Mayfield in a cheesecake factory parking lot and had an intimate encounter. She showed alleged nude photos and recounted the meeting in detail. Despite the scandal, the Mayfields remained unshaken. Emily responded with grace and quiet strength, posting on Instagram, "Even if people don't want you to be, you're always perfect in my eyes." Together, they've turned their platform into something bigger. The Mayfields have been relentless in giving back, from helping cancer cancer-stricken fans in Cleveland to supporting children during the holidays and raising funds for literacy programs through the Baker and Emily Mayfield Foundation. Their Passing the Joy event in Tampa Bay and scholarship initiatives highlight a couple committed to more than just football. On the field, Mayfield has bounced from Cleveland to Carolina, Los Angeles, and now Tampa Bay, racking up Pro Bowl selections, playoff wins, and a reputation as one of the league's top playoff passers. Off the field, he and Emily are preparing for the arrival of their first child, a girl, in April 2024, proving that even amid arrests, cheating scandals, and public scrutiny, life can still deliver redemption and joy. Up next, we have a player who was confronted by his partner over infidelity. Cody Ford. Cody Ford wasn't just another NFL lineman. He was a top Oklahoma prospect, drafted by the Buffalo Bills in 2019, 38th overall. He bounced between guard and tackle his rookie year, stepping in after Tyne Seke got hurt. But his first taste of controversy came in Buffalo's wild card playoff loss to the Texans. Ford was called for an illegal blindside block in overtime, a flag that arguably cost the Bills the game. The league fined him $28,075. Bills fans even set up a GoFundMe to help him pay. In 2020, Ford started at right guard before shifting to left guard. Injuries began to haunt him. A torn meniscus landed him on injured reserve. He missed games, struggled to stay consistent, and became known more for what happened off the field than on it. In 2022, Ford was traded to the Arizona Cardinals. Injuries followed him there too, limiting his playtime. By 2023, he landed with the Cincinnati Bengals. Initially a backup, he made his first start in Week 12 against the Steelers. He signed a one-year extension in March 2024 and a two-year deal in March 2025. The NFL career continued, but the headlines were dominated by his personal life. January 2023, Cody went public with TikTok star Tiana Robillard. 1 year later, in April 2024, he proposed. 2 months after that, the engagement was over. Robillard exposed the betrayal. While on a Paris trip, she got messages hinting Cody had cheated. She dug through her inbox and found proof. Cody had leaked their Cincinnati address. She confronted him. So, she left their Dallas home. She abandoned her ring. Social media became a battlefield. Also, influencer Leah Rodriguez surfaced, wearing what Robillard claimed were Cody's old clothes. Screenshots circulated. Fans debated loyalty, but Cody stayed silent. On the other hand, we have a player whose wedding was canceled due to adultery. Ronnie Stanley. Ronnie Stanley wasn't just any offensive tackle, he was a force. Drafted 6th overall by the Baltimore Ravens in 2016, Stanley quickly cemented himself as one of the league's best at left tackle. By 2019, he earned Pro Bowl and first-team All-Pro honors. He protected Lamar Jackson, paved the way for record-breaking seasons, and signed a 5-year, $112.8 million extension in 2020, becoming the NFL's highest-paid lineman. But the field wasn't the only place where life hit hard. October 2020, Week 8 against the Steelers, everything changed. Stanley suffered a catastrophic ankle injury, fractured, dislocated, surgically repaired. He couldn't bend his knee for 3 months. In 2021, he tried to come back, but agony lingered. He played through tears, 9 quarterback pressures on 40 pass block snaps, frustration boiling over. Mid-season surgery revealed a completely torn deltoid ligament. There was no amount of toughness that was going to let me play effectively, Stanley said. Off the field, his personal life mirrored the chaos. Stanley dated Emily Kucharczyk for nearly a decade. They were engaged in 2021, planning a Hawaii wedding in 2022. But hours before the ceremony, it collapsed. Prenup disagreements, rehearsal mishaps, a second bachelor party abroad, and a cold lack of acknowledgement on the morning of the wedding pushed Emily to her breaking point. Stanley reportedly told her, "Yeah, I think that's best." She left. He went ahead with the reception. Photos hitting social media, leaving fans stunned. Rumors swirled about infidelity, disagreements, and betrayal. Some claimed Stanley canceled. Others said Emily did. The truth? A messy mix of both. Despite the turmoil, Stanley returned to the Ravens in 2022. Knee injuries plagued him in 2023, but he played 13 games, the most since his Pro Bowl year. In 2024, he played all 17 games, reclaiming his spot among the NFL elite with a second Pro Bowl. Moving on, we have a player who cheated on his partner with a student. Jordan Poyer. Jordan Poyer wasn't just any safety. He was the backbone of the Buffalo Bills secondary. Drafted in 2013, bounced by the Eagles, and then a starter for the Browns before becoming a cornerstone alongside Micah Hyde, Poyer earned Pro Bowl and All-Pro honors. On the field, he was precise, aggressive, and relentless. Off the field, chaos. The summer of 2018 threw Poyer into one of the NFL's juiciest scandals. Rumors swirled about an alleged affair with University at Buffalo student Summer Rae. Text messages between Rae and Poyer's wife, Rachel Bush, leaked online, exposing private disputes for the world to see. Bush called it out, publicly acknowledging mistakes, admitting, "I effed up." Jordan got his feelings hurt. She described Rae as crazy, relentless, and intrusive. The fallout was immediate. Social media erupted. Rae posted screenshots and personal accounts, explaining she didn't seek to destroy a family, but had reached her breaking point after months of harassment. Bush fired back, threatening Rae and defending her family. Meanwhile, Poyer remained the center of the storm. His private life splashed across headlines while he tried to keep his marriage intact. Despite the chaos, the couple survived the summer. Poyer and Bush reconciled, keeping appearances at games, showing a united front, and slowly rebuilding trust. But the incident left scars. In 2019, after a bitter playoff loss, he struggled with alcohol, realizing it threatened his career, family, and health. By March 2020, he committed to sobriety, turning his struggles into a mission to help others, sharing his journey on Instagram and the Players Tribune. Today, Poyer continues to anchor the Bills' defense, a two-time Pro Bowler, father, and husband. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section, and before you leave, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to NFL Rivals so you don't miss the next ones.